Hi and welcome to this evening's class. Whether you're choosing to join us in the morning or evening, that's absolutely okay. Today I'm going to be taking you through a very gentle Yin Yoga practice for your period. So if you're like me, I am right now on my period, so I thought this was the perfect time to take you through this. If you experience menstrual cramps or pain, this sequence will help alleviate that. So we'll be targeting kind of the inner thigh area and the backs of the thighs, but not putting too much pressure on the lower back. As I know, a lot of us can get quite painful lower backs during this time. So really opening up these deep areas, trying to get some blood moving. And if you haven't done Yin Yoga before, we're going to be moving through a few poses and then holding them for about 2 minutes. Now we will need some props. So if you have a bolster, feel free to grab that. Otherwise, you can use a pillow or anything that you have. So I've got a couple of pillows here, which I'll be using as my props today. So feel free to go grab those now. Just placing them to one side. I'll pop them behind me. So for today's practice, we're going to be beginning down, laying down. So just making your way here slowly. Just moving through everything with stillness and gentleness. You can either keep the knees bent or you can bring them out in front. I find it easier to keep them bent. Maybe TPing the legs as well. Just starting to bring that awareness to your breath. And maybe placing the hands down onto the womb space. Grounding down. And starting to feel through the breath. Feeling as it rises and falls. And really just connecting to this deep part of the body. The great thing about menstruation is, as much as it can be a pain, literally and figuratively, it also helps us to connect deeply to the sensations in our body. And this pain that we experience, how can we push through this and connect to ourselves a little bit deeper? Bringing that breath in and out through the belly. So starting to bring in some deep belly breathing, inhaling to fill up all the way to the belly, feeling those hands expanding outwards. And then exhale to feel them soften down. The hands softening. Take another inhale through the nose, filling up through the belly. Feeling it expand. And then exhaling to let it go. Feeling it soften down. We'll do 2 more rounds of these. Just really connecting to that womb space and the breath. Starting to calm the mind and the body. And then returning back to the normal breath. Feeling super present in the body. From here, we're going to move into our first yin pose, which is our reclined butterfly. So from here, stay laying down and then take the knees out either side of the mat and the soles of the feet can come together. You can either have your feet quite far away or quite close, depending on the sensation that you're after. Keeping the hands either on the belly or by the sides. This is our first yin posture. So we'll hold here for about 2 minutes. So in our yin poses, we target the connective tissue and the fascia rather than the muscles and skeletal system like you would in regular yoga. This helps us to access the deep, deep lines of tension that are held within the body. So by holding these poses for a little bit longer, it helps to release this tension. I'll leave you now to connect back to the breath and the sensations within the body. And if you feel the urge to come out, just keep sticking through that sensation. Keep connecting to the breath. About 20 more seconds here. Just keep pushing through that sensation. Feeling through the body. And I often find in our yin practice and poses, the feeling and sensation of these poses will distract me from any pain or cramps that I'm experiencing. So this is a great practice to do when you're really feeling that pain. Bringing the knees up together, drawing them in towards the chest, giving yourself a gentle squeeze and maybe a rock along the spine, back. Maybe swirling the knees around to really get into that hip and lower back section. And we will be coming up into a seated position. So if you want to rock and roll up, feel free to do that. Otherwise, gently roll over to one side and push your way up. Coming up into a seat. So from here, we'll move into our dragonfly. So we'll do a half dragonfly. So separate sides. So with your legs out in front, bring one leg out to the side. Doesn't matter which side you do. And then bring the other foot inside that inner thigh. And this is where you can use your props. So unlike normal yoga where you're stretching and actively reaching, this is a very passive stretch. So taking our props, finding a spot just out in front of you. You can use these ones to lean down on. So resting down. Alternatively, also because I have a mic on, you can take your hand out to the side for a little bit of a deeper stretch, holding the head. So if you'd like a little bit more relaxing, use the bolsters. Otherwise, if you want a bit more depth, using that hand. So I'll find 2 minutes here in this pose, really opening up through the legs, and also stretching out through the hips a little bit here. Again, just actively, not really, I shouldn't say actively, it's just kind of passive stretches. So we just put ourselves in the position and let the body do the work. Gently melting us like honey, slowly dripping down and forming into this depth of a pose. You might find that your body starts to move gently, even if it's just minuscule. It's still moving. If you found any tension moving up into the head and neck and shoulders, just releasing that down. Even from the jaw, releasing that tension. And closing the eyes too. Hold here for another 30 seconds. Slowly, like honey, drawing yourself back up, coming up to center, and we'll just move over to the other side, stretching out the legs, and once again moving those props. I can probably use it this time. Just placing them wherever you like, and then leaning yourself over. Again, alleviating any tension from the shoulders, head or neck. And just a reminder that these poses don't have to look any certain way. You can look however you like. There's really no right or wrong in Yin. Using your breath as an anchor, or finding the sensation. So trying to find a spot where you feel an edge, so a point that doesn't feel like pain, but it feels like a deep sensation. Finding and feeling into this spot. So we don't want it to be too gentle, that we don't feel anything, because that can lull us into a little bit of a sleep. So really just finding that gentle edge point. "30 more seconds here." And also after you do this, and if you want to do it again, feel free to hold these poses for 3 to 5 minutes for optimal depth. This is just a little quick video to give you some tools and tips. Gently now, drawing yourself up, moving as slowly as you like. We'll come down to the ground for a rebound. So just sweeping the legs around, coming down to lay on the back. And our rebound helps all that fresh blood move through the body. So just find this for a little bit of time. Maybe this can be a point for you where you turn that awareness inwards, starting to focus on how the sensations are feeling. And through our period and menstruation, it is really a time of internal reflection and tuning into how the body feels. Finding some deep relaxation in the body. We'll finish up our rebound here, just taking the knees into chest. giving them a little gentle squeeze. And if that's really uncomfortable, feel free to skip this. We will come up, not to a seat, but onto our hands and knees. So feel free to rock or roll. And we'll come into our final yin pose for this practice, which is our child's pose. So finding your hands and knees on the mat, bringing the knees as wide as you like. They can be as wide as the mat. Sinking the hips down. And this is where you can grab that pillow or bolster. And coming down to rest on top here. So child's pose is really great for targeting that inner thigh area and also for releasing through the back. Feel free to stack multiple pillows on top of each other as well. Otherwise, we'll find this for 2 minutes. Starting to wind down. And after we finish up, you can either finish after the meditation or you can stay relaxing, but we'll get to that later. If you've got one ear on the pillow, feel free to change over to the other side. And you might not think it when you start doing it, but child's pose is actually quite intense. About 10 more seconds here. Really breathing through that sensation, not forgetting to breathe. And slowly drawing yourself up. And for your rebound, feel free to come down onto the stomach. So gently bringing yourself down. But if you find that you struggle with lower back pain, come straight onto the back. So just find a gentle rebound for 30 seconds, either on the back or on the belly. Letting that new energy and blood flush down through. If you're on your belly, just rolling back onto the back. We'll just finish off our class together. Just connecting back to that womb space and back to the breath. So bringing in some of that deep belly breathing, taking an inhale through the nose, filling up through the belly, and then exhale, letting it go gently and slowly, feeling the belly gently deflating. Take another deep inhale through the belly, filling all the way up, and then exhaling, letting it go. Last one, last round of breath together. Take a deep inhale, filling up the belly like a balloon. And then exhale to let it go. Now feel free to stay laying down, or if you want to keep doing some yin poses, feel free. Otherwise, this is where I'll leave you. Please take care of yourself from here and take this time to really deeply honor the body and take that much needed rest. And if you are feeling the cramps, I really hope you do get better soon and it will pass. And if you would like some tips, also some ginger tea is really great as well. Otherwise, go easy, and thank you so much for joining this practice today. Thank you.